Hello, and welcome to Live Parkinson's, Live an Exceptional Life. I'm your host, Chris Custenbotter, and I've been living an exceptional life with Parkinson's for the past 14 years. The mission of this podcast is to help as many people as possible living with Parkinson's to lead a great quality of life. Today's topic is more than just a stroll. Discover the life-changing benefits of walking for Parkinson's. When Mark was diagnosed with Parkinson's at 58, he struggled with the loss of control over his body. Simple tasks like walking became challenging. Mark's neurologist recommended he start a walking routine. At first, Mark said it felt impossible. His legs were stiff, his balance unsteady. But with a little patience and consistency, something remarkable happened. Step by step and day by day, Mark regained his confidence and independence. Today, walking isn't just a part of his exercise routine, it's his therapy. His daily walks through the park and along nature trails aren't just about physical movement. It's become his lifeline to feeling in control of his body and staying connected to the outdoors, which was his favorite pastime before his Parkinson's diagnosis. Walking also keeps Mark connected to his family and friends, as they often join him on his daily walks. Join us as we explore the incredible benefits of walking for people with Parkinson's and how walking can transform both your mind and your body. Hopefully you can relate to Mark's story. I know I can. When I was first diagnosed with Parkinson's, I was dragging my left leg when I walked and had difficulty with my walking. Like Mark, I made it my routine to include walking into my daily activities, and it's really helped me on my Parkinson's journey. My hope is that through this podcast, you get a great understanding of the benefits of walking and include walking as part of your daily routine to help you regain your confidence and live your best life with Parkinson's. Now, I always like to share what we'll be discussing so you know what the topic is and if it's pertinent to your Parkinson's journey and how it can benefit your life. So what will we be discussing in this episode? Well, we'll kick it off with understanding the benefits of walking for Parkinson's. We'll cover the scientific evidence for Parkinson's so you know it's not just my opinion or me sharing biases because I enjoy walking. We'll also discuss the physical benefits of walking to show how it can have more more control or impact over your total body. Then we'll transition to creating a walking routine and reinforce that consistency is key for reaping the benefits of walking. Then it's on to tips and techniques for effective walking. And yes, believe it or not, there are things we can all do to improve our walking, and we'll pull back the curtain on what they are. Then, as we all know, that in life we're going to face challenges. So walking's no different. In this section, I'll share some of the common challenges and share tips for overcoming them. Then we'll wrap it up with discussing walking groups and communities and how you can use these to help you achieve your goals and stay socially connected. So, whether you want to walk to participate in fundraising walks for Parkinson's or just use walking to improve your health and the quality of your life, then this episode is for you. My wife Mary and I have always enjoyed walking. We walk every day because we enjoy being outside, and it was always a way to reduce stress, and I always felt good after taking a long walk. In fact, most of the vacations we go on involve a lot of walking. Now, my personal best was when Mary and I were visiting my son and daughter-in-law when they lived in Charleston, South Carolina, and over the course of the day, I walked 17 miles. I was shocked. While I was tired, it was a good kind of tired, if that makes sense. I guess I always took walking for granted because it was something I enjoyed, and I could do it anywhere at any time. I didn't need to go to the gym or purchase any kind of fancy equipment that I might not use. All I had to do was lace up my sneakers, and I was ready to go. That was until my early 40s, and after having a tremor in my left hand that suddenly I began dragging my left leg when I walked. Now, this was not only worrisome, but it made it difficult for me to do my daily walks with Mary. I just couldn't keep up anymore. Then, after being diagnosed with Parkinson's and my struggles with walking, and I'll be honest, I put walking on the back burner. I thought to myself, why do I want to walk when it was becoming a struggle? I didn't want to put myself through the struggle every day. I felt like I was holding Mary back. because I had trouble keeping up with her during our walks. And then, well, like the big dummy that I am, and can be a lot of the time, this was a big mistake. The less I walked, the stiffer I became, and that made it even more difficult to move around. So essentially, I was helping Parkinson's reduce my mobility, but increase my stiffness. Not too bright if you ask me. Then call it serendipity, luck, fate. I met two people in a Parkinson's exercise class who were going to and had participated in several fundraising walks for some of the big Parkinson's foundations. I said, "How can you do that? Don't you have trouble walking and aren't you stiff?" They said, "Sure." But they said that after experiencing some of the issues I described, they said he had decided to join a walking group in their neighborhood, and it made a world of difference in their quality of life. They said walking regularly made them feel great and gave them a sense of freedom because they were more mobile. Well, that's all I needed to hear because I wasn't happy how I was feeling in terms of stiffness. But I was also mad at myself for letting a challenge get in the way of something I enjoyed. And I really missed it, my daily walks. Now, being internally motivated, I thought, if they can overcome these issues with walking, then so can I. Walking was going to be one of the ways I was going to overcome stiffness and some mild depression, to put it honestly, because I let Parkinson's rob me of my time outdoors. It was time for me to take my life back, and that's what I did. So I started out slowly, but then rather quickly I was able to walk several miles a day, and walking had changed my life for the better. It made me feel good. It made me really feel good about myself again. Hopefully, you can relate to my story and start your own exercise journey and realize some of the benefits we're about to discover now. But first, let's start out with the scientific evidence supporting the benefits of walking for Parkinson's. Numerous studies have demonstrated the significant benefits of walking for people living with Parkinson's, and here they are. Number one is improved motor function. Enhanced gait. In the article Fighting Parkinson's Disease with Exercise and Diet by Johns Hopkins Medicine, the article notes that a review of studies on treadmill training found that regular walking workouts helped increase normal walking speed and lengthening stride length, which tends to shorten in Parkinson's disease. Regular walking can help improve your gait speed, your stride length, and reduce freezing episodes, which are common challenges for people with PD. It helps to enhance balance. Walking helps strengthen muscles and improves balance, reducing the risk of falls. And then finally, it helps provide increased flexibility. Walking can enhance flexibility, making it easier to perform your daily activities. Now, what effect does it have on your quality of life? Well, number one, it can help reduce symptoms. Walking has been shown to reduce symptoms such as tremors, rigidity, and slowness of movement. And research published in Neurology suggests that regular, moderate exercise, such as walking briskly, can help improve the symptoms of Parkinson's disease. An article in Medical News Today entitled, "Could Brisk Walking Be Therapeutic for People with Parkinson's?" discussed the research published in the Journal of Neurology. In this study, researchers examined 60 people aged 50 to 80 with Parkinson's disease to see what the effects of aerobic walking could have on the symptoms of the disease. They also wanted to determine if a program of moderate intensity exercise was beneficial, safe, and tolerable. Patients were asked to take part in 45-minute sessions of moderate intensity walking 3 times a week for 6 months. The participants would wear heart rate monitors during the exercise and would take tests to measure their aerobic fitness, their mood, memory, motor functions, and thinking abilities. The walking sessions met the definition of moderate intensity exercise, with the average walking speed of approximately 2.9 miles per hour, and with participants exercising at 47% of their heart rate reserve. The researchers found that brisk walking sessions resulted in the following improvements. Motor function and mood saw a 15% improvement. Attention and response control saw a 14% improvement, saw an 11% reduction, which is good. That means people are less tired than they they were before. Aerobic fitness and gait speed, there was a 7% increase. And then in the motor functioning test, there was an average improvement of 2.8 points among the participants, a score that is deemed to be a clinically important difference. Now, to note, this study does have its limitations. The range of patients is relatively small, and it did not run for a particularly long period of time. And then finally, there wasn't a control group, so a lot of the results were you can question if they had nothing to compare it with the control. Now, besides reduced symptoms, other benefits that walking have on improved quality of life include improved mood. Regular physical activity, including walking, can boost your mood and reduce anxiety and depression, which are common challenges in PD. Think about, you've heard the runner's high, but walkers can experience the same thing. When you walk and exercise, you stimulate the production of the feel-good neurotransmitters. You can also have enhanced cognitive function. Exercise, including walking, has been linked to improved cognitive function, including memory and attention. And that's one of the things you can do as you walk to help with your cognitive function, is to include mentally stimulating activities. Like you can spell forward and backward. You can count the number, or say the number of the months backwards. So there's a lot of different things that you can do while you're walking to help you stimulate and improve cognitive function. Now, for a real challenge, you can use fractions, such as counting by 1/4. That'll keep you on your toes while you're walking. And you can even say that I talked about saying the months of the year forward and backward, and then you can do things like counting back from 100 by sevens. That's always a fun one too. So by challenging your mind as you're walking, you're helping to improve and maintain your cognitive function. So that's very important. All right, now let's look at one of the main benefits and reasons you may want to include walking in your fitness program if you have Parkinson's. Now, I always like to save the best for last, so let's reveal what this benefit is, and let's see what's behind door number 1, which is slowed disease progression. Some studies suggest that regular exercise, including walking, may have neuroprotective effects, potentially slowing down the progression of the disease. Now, you may have issues or may experience trouble with your balance or gait, and you have a fear of falling. The Parkinson's Foundation, in their article, Pole Walking for Parkinson's, and How the Nordic Workout Improves Mobility. The article states that pole walking, which is also known as Nordic walking, uses specially designed poles that mimic the motion of cross-country skiing. You use both your arms and legs to move your body. Walking poles, according to the article, may help users walk faster, stay more upright, and more steady. They say that when properly used, the poles take the weight off the walker's knees and lower the lower body joints, which can give you the impression of being lighter on your feet. The article also notes that pole walking can be helpful for people with Parkinson's because using the poles helps ensure better posture, because it naturally keeps the walker more upright while at the same time taking longer strides that gently stretch your limbs. And they keep your body rotated, which can help loosen up your abs and improve your coordination as well. Pole walking creates a steady beat to help improve and encourage bigger motion. So that might be something that you want to consider if you're having some mobility issues, is try Nordic walking. In fact, I'm going to try it myself after reading the article. It sounded like it's a great benefit. Okay, now that we understand the benefits of walking, if you have Parkinson's, let's create a walking routine to help get you walking and realizing the benefits of walking on our PD symptoms. So as we discuss the example of a walking plan, I want to stress some key considerations that you should think about while you're developing your plan. Number 1 is start slowly. If you haven't been walking, don't try to go out and walk 10 miles in one day, especially the first day, because number 1, you're going to be even if you make it, you're going to be very sore, very tired, and more than likely you're going to give up. So start out slowly, start out gradually, and then increase the speed and intensity of your walks as your fitness level increases. Next, you want to try to select a suitable environment based on your condition. Try to walk on flat, even surfaces such as sidewalks, paved paths, or in parks with well-maintained trails. Try to avoid uneven or rocky terrain, which can increase your risk of tripping and falling. And then try to find quieter access areas to walk to reduce distractions and reduce the risk of falling. Because a lot of times if you're walking where there's a lot of cars or there's a lot of commotion, people can be turning around to look, and that can lead to a fall. So, try to pick areas that are quieter and less congested. Finally, consider safe walking times. This would include walking during daylight hours when visibility is best. Because as you know, if once we set the clocks back, it gets dark earlier, and a lot of times people are walking along the side of the road and they're difficult to see. And we'd hate to see someone get hit by a car. So if you can, walk during daylight hours, but if you do have to walk in the evening, make sure you carry a flashlight, and you maybe wear a reflective vest as well so people can see you. And then some safety considerations for you to incorporate as you create your walking plan would include make sure you wear comfortable non-slip soles on your sneakers that have good support, because that's going to help reduce the risk of falls, especially if it's wet and you step on some leaves, your feet don't go flying out from under you. Use assistive devices like poles for added stability. You can use poles, you can use a cane, walker, whatever you need to help you with your walk, no matter how long or how short your walk is. And then find a walking partner. Find a buddy or friend to walk with. They're going to help keep you accountable and motivated, but they're also there to provide some support if necessary. Now, this one's key, and especially for people with Parkinson's, it's hydration. A lot of times, people with Parkinson's, we become dehydrated very quickly without really noticing. So if you're going on a little bit longer walks or extended walks, make sure you carry water or have water in a backpack or something where you can stop and take a drink. You want to stay hydrated and prevent dehydration. Okay, now that we have some of the walking and safety considerations identified, let's discuss a walking plan. Example to get started. Now, I want to stress that this is just an example, so please consult with your healthcare professional to try to help you design a specific walking plan based on your specific needs and abilities. Let's break our walking plan or strategy down into 3 phases: the warm-up phase, the walk itself, and then the cool-down phase. Now, during our warm-up, which should last between 5 and 10 minutes, gently stretch your legs, arms, and back to increase your flexibility and loosen your muscles. You can do arm circles, you can bend over and touch your toes or touch your knees, whatever is easier for you. You could lift your heel or lift your toes up to stretch your calf, and then you can do some hip rotations to help loosen the hips up. So really what you're trying to do is increase your flexibility and loosen your muscles up, so when it's time to go, you're ready to walk and not struggle with it. Now, you can also march in place to help you get started, and if you do slow, deliberate movements by lifting your knee as high as possible, this helps to stretch out your legs as well. All right, once we've done our warm-up, then we're going to get into the next phase, which is the actual walk itself. Now, you want to start slowly and begin walking at a slower pace so that you can focus on your posture. You want to stand tall with your shoulders back and your head facing forward. And then you're going to walk this way for 5 to 10 minutes and then gradually increase the pace to a more comfortable level. The goal is to build endurance rather than pushing speed. So you're trying to build up your fitness level. All right, so let your arms swing naturally, and that's going to help you with your balance and rhythm. Now, I know personally my left arm does not swing when I walk, which is common with many people with Parkinson's. So if you experience the same problem, you can do a couple things. You can consciously focus on swinging your arms when you're walking, or you can use trekking poles to help you keep both arms involved at the same time, and also help with your balance as well. Now, I notice when my arm doesn't swing, it tends to make me twist a little bit more to one side, and when I walk, that can cause lower back pain. Now, initially try to walk in the walking phase for 10 to 20 minutes based on your endurance level. And then gradually, again, as I said, gradually build on that as you become more confident and more in shape. Finally, the cool down, which lasts between 5 and 10 minutes. Now, in this part of your walk, you want to end with a few minutes of slow walking to cool down and reduce your heart rate and breathing, which should increase during the walking part of the segment. And you want to finish your walk with some gentle stretches of your legs, arms, back, shoulders, and your abs, and that's going to help prevent stiffness after your walk. Because if you don't stretch out and don't cool down, it's very easy to go sit down and then you become very stiff, and it makes it difficult then to get up out of the chair and move. And there you have it. That's a simple walking plan. It consists of a warm-up, a walk, which is really the active exercise segment, and the cool down. Now, keep in mind, if you're new to walking and exercise, to start slowly and gradually build on your successes. You want to try to start with 10 to 20 minutes, and then, depending on your ability, gradually increase the duration and the time and the intensity. Aim for 3 to 5 walks per week to build endurance and maintain your mobility. Okay, now we have our walking plan. Let's look at a few tips and techniques for effective walking for a person with Parkinson's. All right, starting with postural awareness. As I mentioned earlier, you want to stand tall, keep your head up, and your shoulders back and your chest out. This helps improve your balance and your posture. Next thing you want to focus on is engaging your core. By engaging your core, which are your ab muscles, that's going to help provide stability and also prevent slouching while you're walking. Gait training. You want to practice heel-toe walking. And so when you're putting your foot down, you want to focus on placing your heel down first, followed by your toes. And that's going to help improve your gait rhythm and your coordination. So I try to focus on doing this, especially when I'm tired, because when I'm tired, I tend to clump my feet like a horse. And when I walk, which gives that slapping sound when my feet hit the ground. So heel-toe helps me with that. So again, you let your heel touch down first, and then you roll onto your toes. And then you can use a metronome or music with a rhythmic beat to maintain a consistent pace and prevent freezing. Now, people often ask me why I wear my earbuds so much. They say, you really must love listening to music. I say I do, but it's the music helps me with my walking. It helps to keep me moving at a steady beat, and it helps with times where I've experienced freezing. So I highly recommend listening to music as a means to help you with your walking and even overcome freezing issues. Finally, as part of gait training, use cueing, such as verbal or visual cues, to help initiate movement and overcome any freezing issues that you may have. All right, next up, we touched a little bit on is dual tasking. It's another technique that I like to incorporate into my walks. And I think I talked about this before, but it essentially means you're going to perform simple tasks while you're exercising or walking to help work in some cognitive function exercises. So, for instance, as you're walking, tell words forward and backwards, count down from 100 by sevens. You can solve problems. You can recite poems, or you sing. As long as you're doing something while you're walking to help stimulate cognitive function. Now, during the dual tasks, they can help you improve your aerobic fitness as well. So include some exercise variety into your walking program, if possible. Some things you can do to introduce exercise variety, or to include hills to challenge your muscles. Use interval walking. So increase your speed for a minute to where you start breathing heavy, and then return to your normal walking speed, and then repeat that 4 more times. So go very fast for 1 minute, and then back to your normal walking speed for a minute, and then repeat with the speed, and then back to the regular walking. That's interval training, and that's going to help with your aerobic fitness. And then finally, practice some mindfulness and relaxation techniques as you're walking. They're a great way to fit that into your walking program, because they can help you reduce your stress and help keep you focused while you're walking. Now, when we're talking about practicing mindfulness, what that means is keep your focus in the present moment and pay attention to your body's sensations. Observe what's around you. If you think about it, we're all often in such a hurry, we miss interesting things along the way. A lot of times my wife and I'll be walking and she wants to go really fast, and I'll say, do you see the doe and the fawn standing out in the field watching us as we walk by? And she'll say, no. Or how about a hawk sitting on a tree branch overlooking a field? Or the beautiful colored flowers that you see walking along the side of the road or through the woods or through the meadow. You get the idea. So try to slow your mind down and focus on the present, and you can often discover a whole new world that many people miss. And then try to practice deep breathing while you're walking to reduce the stress. All right, now that we have some tips and techniques for effective walking, let's look at how we can overcome some of the challenges that may be holding us back from starting a walking program and really realizing all the benefits it can provide. Let's start with challenge number 1, which is fatigue. And one of the things you can do to overcome fatigue is to start slowly. Begin with short, manageable walks and gradually increase the time and intensity as your fitness level improves. And again, I mentioned this earlier, but if you overdo it from the beginning by trying to walk a half a marathon, you're going to be fatigued, and my guess is that you're going to ultimately give up. Listen to your body. Walk during the times of day when you have the most energy. That's what I always say. I always tend to exercise in the morning because that's when I have the most energy, and that's going to help prevent getting fatigued. And then rest when needed. If you start to feel fatigued, slow down. Maybe sit down for a minute or two till you feel like you're ready. You get back up and ready to go. So there's nothing wrong with taking breaks when needed. So build those in if you have to. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. That's going to help you keep your energy levels high. Now, I know, speaking from experience, this is often easier said than done. Now, if you're tired and fatigued, one of the things you can do too is discuss with your doctor that you're experiencing fatigue and see if they can maybe change your medications and to certain times to help you overcome fatigue. Challenge number 2, which a lot of people experience, is fear of falling. So if you have a fear of falling, start in a safe environment that you're familiar with, maybe a park, or even do an indoor or outdoor walking track. Because if you're afraid to fall, at least if you're walking in some place that's familiar, that's going to help you as you walk. And then use walking aids like poles or canes if you need those for balance. And then the other thing you can do to help overcome the fear of falling is work on balance exercises. And now I practice these every day, and not only do they help improve my balance, but they also help me not think about falling. So if you're interested, on my website, liveparkinsons.com, I have a document that you can download for free, and it has 9 different balance exercises that you can do it right in the comfort of your own home to help improve your balance. And it breaks it down into 3 different categories with three different exercises in each category to address the different types of balance and support that you're going to need. Challenge number 3 is limited mobility. And in this, to help address this particular challenge, you can use adaptive equipment like trekking poles, a walker or rollator, and that's going to help you with your mobility. You can consult with a physical therapist who can provide tailored exercises to address your specific mobility issues. And then you can set realistic goals to avoid frustration and quitting. Now, everyone has to start somewhere. The important thing is to start. Do what you can, and remember, it's a journey, it's not a sprint. So celebrate your small victories. No matter how big or small, celebrate those victories and feel great about your accomplishments. All right, let's close our discussion with the benefits of walking in a group and how they can help you and your walking journey. So one of the things that walking groups offer is social support. By encouraging each other, you share your personal experiences, or just providing a sense of belonging. It's a lot of times a great thing to get together with other people that have the same interest and are out walking and enjoying the outdoors and enjoying each other's company. So it's a great way to stay socially connected. Next up is motivation. They help keep you motivated and accountable. So if there's days you think, I know I should be walking, but I don't feel like it, the walking group's going to help keep you accountable. And they're also going to keep you motivated. And then learning from others. You can pick up valuable tips and techniques from other people with Parkinson's when they share their experiences while you're walking. So that's a great way to learn from other people. Walking groups give you increased confidence. When you walk with other people, it can boost your confidence and make you feel good about yourself, because a lot of times they'll push you to do things and walk further than you thought you could, or faster than you thought you could. Enhance quality of life. A sense of community can significantly improve your quality of life, and walking with a group can certainly do that. Consider using or joining a walking group. So how do you find a walking group? I just figured that's what you might be thinking, and that's a great question. How do I go about finding a walking group? Well, first thing you can do is to go to the Parkinson's Foundation. They offer a variety of resources, including information on local support groups and walking programs. Visit their website at www.parkinsons.org, and you can search for walking groups in your particular area. Next up is you can contact local Parkinson's associations. They can help you identify local walking groups. And then there's online communities. You can join online forums and social media groups, social pages that are dedicated to Parkinson's, and they can help you find a walking group. And then also check local senior centers. That's another great option for finding walking groups that you can become part of. And then another thing you can do is participate in a fundraising walk. I know, like Davis Finney or Michael J. Fox Foundation, Parkinson's Foundation, they all have different walks to support their foundation so that they can help others. So as we wrap up this podcast, remember, walking is a powerful tool for those of us living with Parkinson's. It can significantly improve your motor function, enhance your quality of life, and potentially slow disease progression. And that's a key one. By incorporating walking into your daily routine, you can experience the many benefits that walking has to offer. So here's your call to action. Start walking today. Even if you can only walk for a short time, just remember, every step counts. Join a walking group or start a new one. That's going to help you get the support you need, and it's going to keep you motivated. Consult a healthcare professional for personalized guidance and support if you need that. They can tailor programs specifically for your needs. And then finally, share your story. Inspire others by sharing your journey with Parkinson's and the positive impacts a walking program that has had on your life. So by sharing with others, people can learn, and then they start to become motivated, and you're helping other people live a great quality of life. So remember, with consistency and determination, you can overcome the challenges and unlock the full potential of walking for Parkinson's. So lace up your sneakers, take that first step, and embark on a journey toward a healthier you. Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.